Hi, Ashley here and welcome to Funky Fresh Food. Now today's recipe is inspired by my recent trip with my girlfriend to Poland. Now we didn't go for the capital city, we decided to go a little bit off-piste and went to the northwestern city of Szczecin. Now most of you probably haven't heard of the city, it's not a major tourist destination and it has a population of around 300,000. But I did a little bit of research before I went and I got very excited when I found out it has its own special food, which goes by the name of pastiche. What's pastiche? It's basically a long savoury donut that's filled with a filling of either cheese and mushroom or a meat mixture and then deep fried until it's golden brown on the outside. If you happen to find yourself in Szczecin, there is really only one place to go and get a traditional pastiche, and this shop has been around since 1969. It hasn't really changed much, they still cook it in the same way, and that is probably why it tastes so delicious. And it only costs 3 zloty, which in English money is about 60p. So it's an absolute bargain. Now if, like most of us, you're not happening to pass through northwest Poland anytime soon, then never fear, because I'm about to try and crack this recipe so you can make delicious pastiche right in the comfort of your home. Now the first thing we have to do is to make our savoury donut dough. And this is an enriched dough, so it's got milk, butter and eggs in it. We'll start this by putting our butter and milk in a pan over a medium heat until the butter is melted and the mixture is just warm to touch. We'll add our strong bread flour to a bowl along with a pinch of salt, give it a good stir around and then sprinkle over our yeast. We'll crack an egg into a bowl and beat it together before adding it into our flour along with our melted butter and milk mixture. We'll then give this a good mix together until we have an incredibly sticky dough. Now if it's too sticky to work with, just add a little bit more flour a touch at a time until you can just about scoop it out of the bowl and onto a floured work surface. Now you could do this by machine, but I don't have one and I kind of find kneading very therapeutic. So I'm going to get kneading my dough. This will take about 10-15 minutes depending on how strong or vigorously you're kneading your dough. But the end result should be smooth and elastic. We'll then pop this into a clean oiled bowl, cover it with a tea towel and leave it in a warm place to brew for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. This gives us the perfect time to crack on with our filling. Now you could go for a meat filling, but I did a little bit of research and I think the most traditional is mushrooms and cheese. I might be wrong, if you know, let me know in the comments down below, but you probably won't know, unless you're from Szczecin. We'll chop up our chestnut mushrooms as fine as you can, along with a couple of cloves of garlic. We'll then add these to a pan and fry them on a high heat until all their moisture has evaporated away. Now I'm not really sure what cheese would be the most traditional to add to this mixture, but I'm going with a nice vintage cheddar. I'm going to grate this, add it to the mixture and give it a good stir around. At this point it's the perfect time to give your mixture a taste and season it to your liking. I'm adding lots of black pepper to mine. We'll then give this a quick mix around before transferring the mixture to another dish and flattening it out. This will help the mixture cool quickly. Once our dough has doubled in size, remove it from the bowl and then knock it back on a floured work surface. This basically means just punch the air out of it a few times. We'll then separate the dough into 8 even pieces. Then taking one piece of a dough at a time, roll them out using a rolling pin until we have rectangles about 15 centimeters long, 7-8 centimeters wide. We'll then add a strip of our cooled mushroom and cheese mixture down the middle of the rectangle of dough. To help the dough stick to itself better, we're just going to wet the edges using a damp finger before rolling it over. Now the folding technique took a little bit of trial and error, and you can do whatever method you feel is best. But basically you want to make sure that none of the mushroom and cheese filling will escape when it's deep fried later. Once you've filled and folded all your donuts, lay them out on a tray lined with greaseproof paper, cover them with a tea towel and leave them to brew for another hour, hour and a half. By now your donuts should be plump and fluffy, so it's time to deep fry them. Once your oil's at about 180 degrees, gently lower them into the oil one at a time. I'm frying mine in batches of 2 because that'll stop the oil temperature from dropping too much. Leave them to fry for about a minute or so on each side until they're lovely golden brown. At this point you can remove them from the oil and leave them to rest on kitchen roll to soak up any excess oil. So here we have the final pastiche, and if I'm being honest, I've already eaten 2.5 of these off screen because they are that tasty, but I'm gonna eat some more. Now don't get me wrong, these are incredibly tasty. They have a lovely garlicky, mushroom, cheesy flavour, and having them deep fried, just wow. But if I'm being honest, these aren't the pastiche that I had in Szczecin in northwest Poland, because my dough is a little bit thin. At the very end you get more dough, and that's more like what I had. So if I was tweaking this recipe and doing it again, which I will be because this is amazing, I think I would double the quantity of dough, so you've got double the amount of dough wrapping around each bit of filling, and then hopefully you'll get more of a squidgy donut texture instead of a crispy bread, which is amazing still. If you prefer the sound of a crispy bread, make it exactly how I did. If you want it more like a savoury donut that's been filled with mushrooms and cheese, then double the dough quantity and you'll be right onto a winner. I hope you've enjoyed today's quest of mine to try and recreate one of my favourite foods from my recent holiday in Poland. If you have any foods from holidays that you'd like me to recreate, then leave a comment in the comments down below. And if you particularly enjoyed today's episode, then why not leave me a like? And if you want to stay up to date with all my future videos, then why not subscribe? Somehow I've managed to eat all the pastiche, so I should probably go out for a run now. Bye!